So, speculation about the future. We have different modal verbs, adverbs that can help us to speculate about the future. What do you understand for speculation? What is this? Speculation about the future. Remember, we talked about speculation about the past in some lessons ago. So what about speculation about the future? What does it mean? Any idea?
We suppose something.
We suppose something, right? We suppose something will happen in the future. Okay, very good. So let's see. To make speculations about the future, we are going to use modal verbs, okay? And adverbs too. So modal verbs, we have some modal verbs when we want to make a speculation and we are confident about these predictions in the future. We have some other modal verbs when we are not so sure about our prediction. These are tentative predictions. Then we have adverbs when we are confident about our predictions, and adverbs when we are not so confident about our predictions. Okay, so we are going to identify them. So here we have. Which of these do you think are modals for confident predictions? When you are sure about your prediction that this is
May.
When you are sure.
Might.
Again, please.
Going to.
Going to, okay. Going to is something we use going to talk about the future. And when we are sure, yes. Any other?
Will.
Will definitely is not a modal verb. Okay. Any other?
Probably.
Probably is not a modal verb. I am talking about modal verbs.
And?
Can't. Yes. When you are sure that something is not going to happen. Yes. So will is a modal verb, going to and can't. And these three will be used to make predictions about the future when you are sure about this. Okay. Or when you are confident, not sure, but confident that this is going to happen. Then we have modal verbs for tentative predictions.
May.
May. Any other?
Could.
Might. Yes, these are modal verbs when you are not so sure about something, right? What about adverbs for confident predictions?
Definitely.
Definitely. Clearly. Yes, these are two adverbs. Remember that generally adverbs finish in ly, right? And of course, here we have probably and possibly. These are adverbs when to talk about predictions we are not so confident about. Okay, very good. Something that you have to be careful about is the use of these adverbs. Okay, because adverbs, they go after affirmative modals, but before negative modals. Okay, so this probably, possibly, clearly, and definitely can go if the modal is affirmative. If the sentence is affirmative, it needs to go after the modal. But if the sentence is negative, it needs to go before the modal verb. Okay? Sorry, aquí era adverbs, not verbs. So let's correct this. Adverbs. Any questions until here? Nope. Okay. So let's go to the next part. Here in the next part, we have we are going to describe or we are going to speculate about actions in progress at some time in the future, okay? And we are going to speculate about actions completed before a point of time in the future, okay? So let me show you some sentences. I want you to tell me which of them you think are actions in progress and which of them are actions that are completed before a period of time in the future. ¿Ok? Por favor, sus micrófonos. Hay algunos micrófonos que están encendidos y hay ruido. Okay. Number one, by this time next year, I could have finished my studies. What do you think about this one? It's an action. It's a completed action. Yes. Okay, so it means that before this time next year, for example, before July 17th, I could have finished my studies. Okay, very good. What about this one? In 3 years' time, I may be living in a foreign country.
Action in progress.
Action in progress, right? In the future. Very good. Significa que en 3 años yo voy a estar haciendo esto. Okay. By the beginning of next year, I'm going to be working in a large company.
Action in progress.
In progress.
In progress. By then, I will have bought a big house.
Action completed.
Completed before a period of time, right? Yes, the next one. Before December 25th, I will have lost 10 kilograms.
Completed.
Action completed.
Completed action, right? By the end of 2021, I'll probably be looking for a new job.
Action in progress.
In progress, right? How do you recognize actions in progress and completed actions?
Because the verb finish and AD or ing.
Okay, because of the verb in the ing form. Okay, yes, it's a clue. Very good. Okay, so when we have actions in progress, generally we use continuous tenses, right? So how do we form a continuous tense? It doesn't matter the tense, just a continuous tense. How do we form a continuous tense? Continuous. Just the ing? Just the ing form of the verb? No.
Modal as verb to be.
No, subject, verb to be, and verb with ing.
Okay, yes, we need a verb to be. Don't forget the verb to be and an ing form of the verb, right? Because if we don't have the verb to be, it's not a continuous tense. Okay, it's incomplete. Yes, very good. What do you think about these sentences? Which of them are confident predictions and which of them are tentative predictions? The first one, do you think this first one is confident or is tentative?
Is tentative.
Tentative.
Why?
Because the model is could.
It's good, very good. What about number 2? Confident or tentative?
Tentative.
Tentative, because the modal is may, right? Number 3, confident or tentative?
Confident.
Confident, because the modal is going to, right? Number 4, sorry.
Confident.
Confident, very good. Number 5,
Confident.
confident prediction. And the last one?
Tentative.
Tentative, because here we have, what is this?
Adverb.
An adverb, right? Here we have an adverb that makes our sentence not so sure, right? It's something tentative. Okay, so these are the tenses we are going to use for making these speculations about the future, our predictions. This is the future continuous. We use the future continuous for actions in progress at some time in the future, and the future perfect, okay, for actions completed before a period of time in the future. So all these actions are completed before this time. Okay, the same, where is this? Here, and the same here. Before a period of time, okay? A point of time in the future. Let's see here. How do we form these future continuous tenses? How do we form the structure of these sentences?
Modal
Mm-hmm.
plus verb to be plus verb with ing.
Yes, very good. ing. The modal could be will, could be may, might, or could. Okay, we can say the modal here, and also going to, right? Any modal. And then after the modal verb, the verb to be. Okay, and after the verb to be, the ing form of the verb. Okay, this is the structure for the present continuous tense. And then we have the future perfect. What is the structure we use for the future perfect?
Modal
Modal
plus have.
plus have, yes.
Plus verb.
Past participle.
Verb.
The past participle form of the verb, right? Very good. Remember that to these two kind of tenses, we can add adverbs. Okay? Where can we add the adverbs? ¿En qué parte podríamos añadir los adverbios? Clearly, probably, possibly, definitely. ¿En qué parte de la oración podemos añadirlo, dijimos?
After the modal.
After the modal?
Before.
Before or after?
If.
Go after affirmative modals and before negative modals.
Very good. Yes, if the sentence is the modal is affirmative, after. But if the modal is negative, for example, if we have want, the adverb goes before, right? Okay, very good. Let's continue. These are some expressions we can use to talk about these predictions in the future, okay? The first one, by this time, next week, next month, next year, next century, I don't know, okay? By this time, next something. Then we have, by the end of this week, month, year, this is something we can use too. By a specific date. For example, by January, I don't know, January 1st, okay, or by September 24th, okay, so a specific date. Before a specific date, before October 25th, before a specific date, okay? Or a year, you can say a year here, before 2050 or by 2050, okay? By then, este es cuando ya sabemos de qué tiempo estamos hablando. En la conversación previamente hemos mencionado, por ejemplo, estamos hablando de aquí a 5 años. Y yo digo, by then, para ese entonces ya yo habré hecho eso, o voy a estar haciendo esto. ¿Ok? The next one, in 2 years time, in 3, in 50 years time, in 10 years time. So we can change this number, right? By the beginning of next week, next month, next year, or by the end, también podrían poner acá, by the end of. And after these expressions, generalmente estas expresiones van al principio de nuestra oración. Okay? After these expressions, we can use the future continuous or the future perfect. Okay? So I want you to make predictions about your lives using these expressions here and any of the tenses. Okay? I'm going to give you a minute so you can think in your sentences. Okay? Any questions before you do your sentences?
¿Cuándo era adelante y antes y cuándo después? Los models.
Los adverbs.
Los adverbs.
Ok, vamos a hacer un ejemplo, ¿ok?
Okay.
By then, le voy a poner, voy a hacer mi ejemplo y luego ustedes hacen el suyo. By then, I will possibly have traveled. No, a ver qué le puedo poner. I will have visited him. No sé. Okay, so as you can see in this sentence, my modal verb is will, right? And will is in the affirmative form. So that's why my adverb goes after. But if I write the sentence, the same sentence in the negative form, by then, I possibly won't okay. As you can see, my modal verb here is won't, but it's in the negative form. So that's why the adverb goes before. Okay? This is with any of the adverbs. Possibly, certainly, probably, clearly. Okay? So after the affirmative and before the negative modal verb. Okay, do you have your sentences? Your predictions about your lives in the future? Or maybe in a week, in a month, or at the end of the year? What are your predictions? Okay, so what is your example?
In 2 years' time, I'll probably have married with my boyfriend.
Have gotten married.
Have gotten married with my boyfriend.
Okay, very good. Anybody else?
Me, teacher.
Please.
In 3 years' time, I will probably have traveled to Chile.
Traveled to Chile.
Traveled.
Very good.
Yes.
Christian?
By the beginning of next month, I might have gotten my license motorcycle.
My motorcycle license. Very good.
License.
Anybody else?
Me, teacher.
Please.
By the next year, I'll probably finish my English courses.
Which of the expressions are you using?
It's tentative.
No. Which of these expressions are you using? ¿Cuál de estas expresiones está utilizando? Recuerda que no podemos decir by the next year. Ok, eso es algo que ya avanzamos anteriormente. No podemos decir by the next year. By next year. Ok. Very good.
I
So,
will probably so. Okay.
I will probably.
Finish my English courses.
Very good. Sebastian, please.
By the end of this year, I will probably have gone on vacation.
Very good. Juliana?
By the beginning of next year, I will possibly have started the second year of my career.
Okay, possibly, right? Sorry. Aquí le puse possible. You are right. Possibly. I'm going to erase it, okay? Possibly, okay? It's an adverb, possibly. Juan Pablo?
By this time next year, I will possibly working how engineer civil.
One more time.
By this time next year, I will possibly working how engineer civil.
What about this one? Because you are using the continuous tense, right? Remember that in your continuous tense, you always need to use the verb to be. Again, please.
By this time next year, I will possibly be working how engineer civil.
Cuando decimos la profesión, voy a estar trabajando como, podemos decir as a civil engineer. Okay, as a civil engineer. Okay, I will be working as a civil engineer. The next one. Joshi, please.
Okay, in 5 years' time, I probably won't have finished my studies in college yet.
Okay, very good. Carla?
By the beginning of the next year, I'll probably have bought a car.
Of the next year?
Of the beginning of the next year.
Of the next year?
Of the... Yes.
No. ¿Está leyendo bien la expresión de acá?
Okay.
Not the next, right?
Okay.
One more time, please.
By the beginning of the...
No el de, no es necesario. El de, elimínelo, bórrelo.
Next year, okay. But the beginning of next year, I probably have bought a car.
Had bought a car, very good. Ana?
By the beginning of the next, sorry. By the beginning of the next month.
No, the next. No, never.
Sorry. Yeah, by the beginning of next month, I will possibly finish my master.
Okay, finish my master. I will possibly, no se está olvidando del have finished. I will possibly have finished.
I will possibly have finished my master.
Yes, very good.
Okay, thank you.
Erika?
By September 1st, I will probably have work on Saturday.
Okay, thank you. Jenny?
By the beginning of next year, I'll possibly be in the middle of my master's degree.
Okay, I will possibly, no possible.
possibly in the middle of my master's degree, ¿no?
¿Cuál de ellas está utilizando? ¿El futuro continuo o el futuro perfecto? Ninguna. Ninguna en su oración.
I
¿Cuál
will
se-
possibly have finished or have, yes, no finish, como ya en la mitad.
No, porque todavía está en progreso eso. Si está en progreso y no lo ha terminado todavía, entonces utiliza el continuo.
Yeah,
¿cierto?
be studying.
Very good. Entonces, de nuevo.
Yeah. By the beginning of next year, I'll possibly be studying in the middle of my master's degree.
Very good. Arteaga, please. Paola.
By the end of this year, everybody probably won't have vaccinated.
Won't have
vaccinated.
Won't have. Okay, yes. Won't have. Generalmente esta palabra vaccinated la ocupamos con get. Won't have gotten vaccinated. Okay.
Okay.
Or gotten the vaccine, maybe. Okay. Thank you, guys. Very good sentences. Bueno, algo que ya habíamos avanzado antes es que cuando utilizamos expresiones con next o con last, para las expresiones de tiempo no podemos utilizar de. Eso es algo muy traducido por nosotros, que en español siempre lo utilizamos el próximo año o la próxima semana, pero en inglés no. ¿Ok? Entonces tienen que tener cuidado con estas expresiones. ¿Ok? Let's move on. When we are...
Teacher, I have a question.
Yes?
That verse we can use in the future continuous and future perfect. No?
Yes, yes, you can
Okay,
use
both.
adverbs in both tenses.
Okay.
Okay, very good. So, when we are 100%, not 100% sure about something, we can use other expressions. And when we are certain about something, we can use expressions to speculate about the future. Okay? In these expressions, we don't use modal verbs. Okay? So that's why they are different. For example, the first one is it's bound to. Okay, and then here we have a verb. It's bound to también se ocupa para hacer predicciones sobre el futuro cuando uno está seguro de que va a pasar. Ok, luego tenemos it's sure to. También cuando estamos seguros de que algo va a pasar. Recuerden que después de esto, un verbo. Ok, luego cuando no estamos 100% seguros de que algo va a pasar, pensamos de que sí va a pasar, pero no estamos 100% seguros, podemos decir it's likely to or it's unlikely to. Unlikely para hacer una oración de que no va a pasar, ¿cierto? Lo mismo, it's likely that or it's unlikely that. Aquí después de esto viene generalmente un sujeto y luego un verbo. Luego tenemos there is a good chance that something will do something. ¿Ok? Entonces aquí ponemos un something. Y luego the chances are that something will and the rest of the sentence. ¿Ok? Entonces estas son algunas de las expresiones que también vamos a encontrar en las lecciones para especular acerca del futuro y cuando estamos seguros y cuando no estamos 100% seguros de qué va a pasar. ¿Ok? Any questions? Vamos a practicar estas expresiones y lo que hemos aprendido aquí en los ejercicios. Aquí tenemos en la próxima página, exercise number 2. It says, look again at the sentences 1 to 8 and find 4 modal verbs. I want you to tell me What 5 modal verbs can you find here in exercise 1A? Modal verbs. Anybody?
Will.
Will in the first one. Yes, will in the first one. Any other modal verb?
May.
And
Can't, going to, will, may. Very good. Okay. Could, what is could?
Can't.
The last
Yes.
one.
And the last one, yeah, very good. So these are modal verbs, right? Then we have find an example of modal verb be and the verb in the ing form. Tell me the number of the sentence. Sentence number?
1.
Number 1.
Number 1. Will soon be revolutionizing. Very good. Any other sentence?
Number 2. Oh, no.
No. No.
Number 5.
Number 5.
Number 5, right? May will be what?
Look.
Looking.
Looking.
Yes, very good. Cuando tenemos modal verbs que no son tan seguros como en la oración número 5, vamos a resaltarlo. Recuerdan que este modal verb lo utilizábamos cuando no estábamos tan seguros de lo que estábamos diciendo, ¿cierto? Pero cuando añadimos well después del modal verb might, may or could, lo hacemos un poco más seguro. ¿Ok? Entonces le añadimos un poco de seguridad a lo que estamos diciendo. ¿Ok? Entonces tal vez algunas veces encuentren el well después de un modal verb que no es tan seguro. Especialmente may, might, and could. ¿Ok? Luego, the next exercise says, see, an example of modal have been and a past participle form. Which one?
Maybe 3.
Number 3.
Number 6.
6, right? Haven't been able to. Right? Very good. Or will have. ¿Qué tenemos aquí en la número 5? 6. Will have.
Disappear.
Disappear. Ah, no, it's this one. Haven't been able to adapt. Okay, this is the example. Very good. Okay, and the next part says, which sentences in exercise 2A express certainty about the future? What do you think? Which of them express certainty about the future? Algo que va a pasar, certainty. The first one will soon be revolutionizing. Any other?
3.
Will certainly have to. Very good. Any other?
5.
5. No, recuerdan que may era ocupado cuando no estamos seguros. Yo dije que will le añade un poco de seguridad, pero no estamos completamente seguros, ¿cierto?
9, teacher.
9.
8.
Could be 9. Yes. 8.
8.
Yes, 8. Very good. There are so many sentences, right? What about the next one? Which are a little less confident? Less confident. Which of them are less confident?
The last one.
The last one could possibly. Any other?
Number 11.
11. It probably won't. Very good. Any other?
10.
No, porque aquí dice it's likely to. Recuerden cuando it's likely to. A ver. No, yes, it's okay. Yeah, it's likely to. Very good. Number 10. Any other?
5.
5. Yes, I think we may well be very good. So these are some of the ones that are less certain, right? Less confident. So we are going to complete the grammar panel. It says read A in the grammar panel and choose the correct options to complete 1 to 4. So we are going to complete this part A in the grammar panel. Modal verbs with and expressions, speculating about the future. It says, we use range of modal verbs and expressions to speculate about the future. So we can use these modal verbs, will, can, could, may, might, and going to. ¿Ok? También los utilizamos, algunos de ellos, para hacer especulaciones del pasado. Recuerdan que avanzamos esto en la página 18. Entonces son parecidos. ¿Ok? The next one. We use will, can't, and going to. What do you think? To make confident or tentative predictions?
Confident.
Confident predictions, right? When we are sure about something. This is what is going to drive business in the future. Very good. And then we have the next one. It says, we use may, could, and might to express
Tentative.
tentative predictions. We add will after could, might, or may to increase the level of certainty, para hacerlo un poco más seguro. Por ejemplo, it might well affect almost all industries. Podemos añadirlo para añadirle un poco de seguridad. ¿Ok? Pero no significa que sea totalmente seguro. The next one, the next part. We use modal verb, be, and a verb in the ing form to describe an action
In progress.
At a given point in time in the future. For example, customers of the future will be asking for durability. Then we have the next one, says, we use modal verb, have, and the past participle form of the verb to describe an action completed by a given point in the time in the future. For example, those companies that haven't been able to adapt. Haven't been able to adapt. No, perdón, esta no es. Haven't been able to adapt, will have disappeared. Very good. Okay, any questions until here in part A? ¿Alguna duda?
No, teacher.
Okay, let's go back to exercise number 3. Look again at the sentences in exercise number 1 and find 3 adverbs ending in ly. What can you tell me? In which sentences can we find these adverbs ending in ly?
Certainly, 3.
Sentence number 3. Certainly, very good. Any other?
7.
Number 7.
Unlikely.
No, this is not an adverb, right?
11 and 12.
11 and 12. Let's see 11 and 12. 11 probably. Yes, probably. Possibly. Very good. Okay. Then we have the next exercise says 3 expressions. These are expressions that include likely, unlikely, bound, and chances. Okay, so what do you think?
Number
9, 10,
Number
9,
9, 9, yeah,
10,
10, likely,
And 7.
7, unlikely, very good. Okay, now we are going to complete. It says read B and C in the grammar panel and complete 5 to 9. And then answer question 10. So here we have adverbs. We use adverbs to add information about how frequent or how certain we think the future event or state might be. What do you think?
Certain.
Certain, right? How certain we think is this. We use possibly and probably to show that we are confident or not so confident.
Not so confident.
Not so confident. For example, it could possibly be one of the best ways to move forward. The next one. We use certainly or definitely to show that we are
confident.
Confident. The car manufacturers will certainly have to change their business model. Very good. It says the adverbs usually come before or after affirmative sentences.
After.
After affirmative sentences, right? After. And affirmative modal verbs. And before negative modals. Very good. Okay. Then here we have C. Common expressions. Which of the expressions below is the most confident? Which of them do we use when we are talking about something that we are confident about?
It's bound to.
It's bound to. It's bound to.
It's sure to.
It's sure to. Okay. And the other ones are the ones we use when the expressions are less confident. It's likely to, or it's likely that. It's unlikely to, or it's unlikely that. There is a good chance that, or the chances are that. These are the ones that we use when we are least confident or less confident, most confident. It's bound to and it's sure to. Okay? Good. Let's continue. We are going to practice this on page 123. Okay? Let's go to page 123, exercise 4.2. This one, 4.2, 123. Correct the mistakes in the sentences. Okay, so I'm going to give you a minute so you can read the sentences and correct the mistakes, and then we can check together, okay? Number 1, it says, sharing will become the template for future businesses. It's bound that it will happen. There is nothing you can do to stop it. So what do you think, guys? What is the thing we need to correct here in this sentence?
There will.
Where? In which part of the sentence? Could you read the complete sentence?
There is nothing you can do to stop it. There will be nothing.
No. Anybody else?
Could be sharing will have become the theme for future.
No.
It's bound that.
It's
Okay.
bound to happen.
It's bound?
To happen.
To happen, right? Después de bound no podemos utilizar that, it will happen, sino directamente utilizamos to y un verbo. It's bound to happen. It's bound to happen. Number 2, it's likely that the company closes down. They just haven't known how to capture their market. What do you think?
It's likely to.
It's likely to what?
The company closes down.
No. What do you think, guys?
It's likely that the company will close down.
Very good. It's likely that. Podemos utilizar that, ¿cierto? It's likely that the company, pero aquí debemos utilizar will, right? Will close down. Después de un modal verb como will, recuerden que el verbo tiene que ir en la forma base. Close down. Next, we won't probably be the end of oil production in our lifetime, but the next generation might.
We probably won't have seen the end of oil production.
Very good. We probably won't, right? Very good. We probably won't. Number 4, in 10 years' time, we may well doing business in a very different way. What could be the mistake here?
In 10 years time, we may well be.
Very good. Will be doing, right? Will be doing. The continuous form, yes?
Y en vez de in puede ir by, ¿o no? By
Yes.
10 years.
No. La expresión esta es in 10 years time. No sé si me confundí en la primera, puse by. Cuando yo les mostré las expresiones.
By a specific day.
Ok, esa es otra expresión. Ok.
Okay.
Number 5. No one can really tell what will be happen in 10 years time. We just have to wait and see.
Will be happening.
Happening, right? Very good. Will be happening. Very good. So these are the mistakes in these sentences. Okay. Any questions about this? Any doubts?
I have a question.
Yes.
And the sentence number 3 no sería we probably won't have seen.
We probably won't
have seen.
We probably won't have seen. No. A ver, vamos a ver. We probably won't see.
Porque
could be.
Plus have plus past participle.
Yes. Pero aquí está utilizando el futuro simple en esta oración. Dice, probablemente no veremos el final de la producción de aceite. Ok, o de, ¿cómo se llama? De aceite, creo, ¿no? Sí, no veremos, ¿ok? No lo veremos en nuestro tiempo de vida, pero la próxima generación tal vez sí. ¿Ok? En esta oración está ocupando el futuro simple. ¿Ok? Como en la primera oración también, está ocupando el futuro simple. La idea de este ejercicio es solo darnos cuenta de que el adverbio debe ir antes de el modal verb que está en negativo. ¿Ok?
Teacher, entonces it's bound siempre es con tú.
It's bound to.
Siempre tú, ya.
Como podemos ver acá. It's bound to y un verbo. It's sure to y un verbo. ¿Ok? Y acá tenemos las otras expresiones también. Okay, let's do exercise B. Look at the graph and complete the predictions. Use one word in each blank. Number 1, the company is to go bankrupt. What can we say here?
It's going to go.
It's going to go. Use only one word. One.
Bound.
Bound. Okay, yes. Bound. Or any other options?
Sure.
Sure. It's sure. We can say it's likely to go bankrupt. Number 2, it is that the company will be able to save itself. What can we say here?
Likely?
It's likely. ¿Se va a poder salvar?
Possibly.
No.
So it's
Unlikely.
Possibly.
Unlikely. Porque como pueden ver,
no se va a poder
no
salvar.
se va a poder salvar. It's unlikely. Unlikely that the company will be able to save itself. Number 3, a lot of people probably lose their jobs. Will probably, right? Something that it's going to happen. Number 4, the marketing department possibly be able to reserve the trend to some extent. Number 4. What do you think? Could possibly? Yes, maybe. Could, possibly, or may, or might, right? Number 5, in a year's time, a lot of people will looking for new jobs. Will be looking for new jobs. Number 6, by this time next year, the company may well have closed, right? Its door for the last time. Very good. Any questions about these sentences?
Teacher, in the first one, we can use going or not?
In the first one, no. A ver, it's going to go bankrupt. It's going to go, maybe. It's going to go bankrupt. Yes. Yes, podríamos utilizarlo.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Pero como la idea es utilizar el vocabulario que hemos aprendido recientemente, entonces mejor si utilizamos cualquiera de estas dos palabras, ¿ok? Okay, very good. Let's continue.